Okay, we're rolling. Yeah, the numbers is rolling. Okay, once again, y'all here with Big Al Nolram at the bombastic and bodacious mouth of the South from Beauregard, Alabama. Here to talk to you. You notice I got my politicking hat on. This is my politicking hat. You remember that first video I tell you about the hats and everything? This is my politicking hat. We're going to talk about the nippers, the new Independence Party, and us trying to get Miss Sarah Palin and Herman Cain elected as president and vice president, respectively, on the new Independence Party ticket, the Nippers, and for the 2012 elections in November. Okay, so let's see now. You remember we got the sign of the Nippers. Starts out with the Trinity like this, and you nip things like you're nipping them in the buds. That's how you change a stallion into a gelding or a bull into a steer. You nip them in the buds, and then you end up with the sign of the Nippers like that, so that all those media types try to twist your words and stuff. You just say read between the lines and spin on this. So you got that. Okay. And then we got our slogan. The slogan of the new Independence Party is "How may I help you today?" You know, remember that. And of course, our theme. The thing that associate with the new Independence Party is, of course, we are going to, try to get Sarah Palin and Herman Cain elected. And the way we do it is this. We say, America needs a little cream and sugar. That's Sarah Palin. With their strong black coffee. That's Herman Cain. To wake up to a brand new day in the USA. You remember that now. Okay. And you remember our little jingle. I'm a nipper, he's a nipper, she's a nipper, they're all nippers. Wouldn't you like to be a nipper too? Be a nipper. And drink Dr. Pepper, the official drink of the new Independence Party. That there carbonated prune juice keep you regular, I'm telling you. All right, so we got that. Now, let's see what else we're doing here. Oh, yeah. We talking to this is a call to service for Herman Cain. Now we already did our call to service for Sarah Palin as president. We're doing our call to service. You know how you used to do in the old churches? They'd call to service people for Sunday school teachers and deacons and all that kind of stuff. Well, there's a call to service from the new Independence Party for you, Mr. Cain, to be our vice presidential candidate. And of course, you're going to, the reward is you're going to be the first American African. You know, we like to rebrand things a little bit. African American, we like to put America first. So you're going to be the first American African vice president with no political experience whatsoever, the businessman. And what that's going to do is, the little school kids used to say that I want to grow up to be president. And after they seen what they did to Bill Clinton and Sarah Palin and you and everything, they don't say that much anymore, do they? They say they want to be firemen and policemen and stuff like that. But they don't say they want to be president no more, because all that stuff the media does and all those things the Republicans, Democrats, those little squabbling brats done to you and everything. And so we in the new Independence Party, we understand that, and we accept that everybody has their faults, and we need to move on with it. And so we want you and Sarah Palin to come on down and be with us on this. And of course, we've got a whole bunch of other folks, and we're going to go into that another time. We're going to go into the core constituency that we feel we need to get this party started. And, get this party started. Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, we got a few folks that we feel we need. There was this little fella a couple thousand years ago, started with a core constituency of 12 apostles, disciples, whatever you want to call them, and he managed to do it. Some people think those were just little no accounts, a fisherman and this and that and the other. But as I remember, one of those folks was a lawyer, and one of those folks was a physician and stuff like that. It seems to me that those might have been the power people of their day. The Warren Buffetts and the Bill Gates and the Oprah Winfrey's of their day. And of course, those are some of the people we want on our core constituency. But we'll go into that in some later videos and everything. But right now, we's working on Mr. Cain, and you see, we got this fella in the White House now, and he's not doing that well, and I really think that you could do a better job representing the American Africans than he does. But that's just my opinion. You never can tell what you're gonna think, and so. Now, what would be good though is if you'd write, come out there and write one of those books like Sarah Palin did, the Going Rogue and American Life, because I listened to that several times and I picked up a lot of stuff, and I know her pretty well from her book, and she reads it herself. So I'd suggest you do that too. Write your book and read it yourself out there and get it out there. Maybe make you a little money and get your notoriety, and of course you'll be our vice presidential candidate for the 2012 elections. Now, we really liked your idea, the 999 tax plan. That was really a great idea. I'll tell you where it comes from, though. I don't know if you know where it comes from, but you see, way back in ancient times, back in this book that we have here, the User's Guide. I don't have it with me right now. I left it in the bathroom. But anyway, the User's Guide and Maintenance Manual to Human Life. Some people call it the Holy Bible, but we find that offensive to a lot of folks, so we rebranded it as the User's Guide and Maintenance Manual to Human Life, kind of in information technology terms. You'll see how that goes. You can go out there on those other tracks and see that about. This is the political track, though. We got the UGMMHL track, and we got the Infotech track, and we got the Anything and Everything track, so you go out there and check those out. But anyway, this is the political track. And so we're going to keep on topic, but we got to go, because you can't separate God and politics. Now, you can separate church and state, but you just can't separate God and politics if you want to do it right. And so anyway, see, back in those times, you had the Israeli folks. They wasn't Israelis at that time. They was Hebrews. They didn't have an Israeli state at that time. But anyway, they was the Hebrews, and they was called Israel too after the fella there that got a pretty good reputation with them. But back in those times, the church and the state were one. It wasn't no separation of church and state. The church was the state. And when the good Lord said you need to tithe and send 10% for the operating expenses of the nation, of the Jewish nation, that was income tax. That was income tax. That didn't go to the church. That wasn't for the Lord's work. That was for income tax. The operating expenses to take care of the standing army that protected them, to take care of the temple or the tabernacle when they was moving around in the desert and stuff. They had a tabernacle then. When they finally found a home, they built a temple. And it's the same thing. They used that for the operating expenses, take care of the priests, all that kind of stuff, because the priests were the leaders of the nation. Because the church was the state. And so you got that 10% tithe, that's income tax. That's all we're authorized to take. And with your 999 plan, the federal government only takes 9%, that leaves 1% for the states to take. And if they only take 90% of that, then that leaves another 10% for the counties and cities to take. See, you understand? So that was really great, your idea of 999. And when you come to that last 9, you had 9% for individuals, 9% for businesses, and 9% sales tax. Now they wanted to call that VAT tax, and I know some folks mentioned that a few years back. They wanted to call it the VAT tax. That just sounds like a big vat of pork fat to me that those Democrats and Republicans are going to tap off of all the time. And what we decided in the New Independence Party, we'd like to come up with something called the freedom tax. That's the Federal Reserve Economic Elimination and Debt Overcoming Measure, the freedom tax. And what we're going to do with that is just going to be like the sales tax. Everything you buy is going to have a little tax on it, and every penny of that money is going to go to pay off the federal debt. Now, doesn't that sound like a good idea? If we just take every bit of that sales tax money and use it to do nothing else but pay off the federal debt. You think about that, and we'll see what's going on here. Okay, we got to that. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is our 16-year plan. You see, what we'd like to do is have Miss Palin in the White House for about 8 years and train you up pretty good on all the politicking and everything, how to do that. Because you're a businessman, you can give her your opinions and your recommendations and everything for how to do things to take care of the businessmen, and she can teach you up on politicking, and then after she's done for 8 years, then you take over for the next 8, and she'll be your vice president for the next 8, and then we'll keep the same team in there, the same team. We'll advertise it for 16 years. Those Democrats, those little squabbling Democrats and Republicans, they only go for 4 years. We're going to go for 16 and see what we can do. And of course, then even after that, Sarah Palin can come back again, because if she serves for 2 terms and you serve for 2 terms, and then she can come back and serve for another term. So doesn't that sound like a good deal? All right, and then now what we call that is when you all swip things around like that. We call that the bass-backwards magic trick. That's a technical term meaning to swap something around 180 degrees, like we do with the sign of the nippers. We spin it 180 degrees. That's a bass-backwards magic trick. I'm telling you, it'll work. So we'll have political stability for 16 years. We'll have your business sense and her political sense in there, and it's just gonna go like wildfire. I tell you it will. You see if it don't. Anyway, that's about all we got time for now. Now next time we're gonna do a shout out to a call to service from Miss Oprah Winfrey. Now, her reward is going to be the executive director of Department of State. I think she can fix up all, she's pretty good about those social events and everything, and I'm pretty sure she can fix up all our relationships with all those other countries out there that would really like to have a good relationship with us, but they just nobody know how to do it, how to go about it. And I think she'd be a good one for that. But we'll talk to you about that next time. So, bye-bye for now. Y'all take care of each other out there. Don't be doing too much fussing and feuding. Be kind to each other, and above it all, God bless America. Thank you. Bye-bye.